Hey guys, so whatever I've learned in the last 18 years of coaching more than 5 lakh businesses, I'm going to try and pass some of it down to you in the next few minutes, solving 3 problems that are some of the biggest roadblocks for the growth of any business. So one of our clients, Dave, who's a successful entrepreneur today, faced these problems back in 2020. I'll break these problems down for you and tell you how you can solve them for your business in 2025. Let's get started.
We started with a small business turnover in the first year and then kept moving. But with the movement, we started facing a decent amount of challenges in the process. And the challenge that came was, first was definitely business. Second was to grow business. We had to look at people at different functions or different places. And then we got into people. There started challenges of people. When we started sorting challenges of people, then we started facing problem of business, which is through inquiries. In every area of business, we started facing lot of challenges and problems and could not get real crux as to how to solve it.
How many times in business have you found yourself in a situation where everything is wrong? Now some people there try and solve everything at once or don't solve them at all because it gets overwhelming. Well, let me tell you my insight on this. When you have clutter in your brain and you're not able to figure out where to start, the first thing I would recommend is list your problems. As you list your problems, rank them in terms of priority. What's the biggest burning issue, which is the biggest roadblock in your growth, in your consistency, in your stability as a business owner? Define that. When you put pen to paper and list things out, okay, that's when you are able to have some distance, some clarity in the matter. Now, my advice to business owners is always do things one step at a time. Don't bite more than you can chew. Don't go into this overtly motivated mode where you're like, that's it, I've made a decision, I'm going to solve every single problem together. No. One thing at a time, one step at a time. And work on the things that make you the most uncomfortable, that hurt your business the most. Eat the bigger problem for yourself in the business.
With the Josh, it started giving me challenges through the process. We always assume that what we get in first shot of business, we may be doing it in a big way when we get full time into it. But that was not how actually it happened. So we are expecting an X amount of business happening from third, fourth month, but that really didn't come so well. So my mind started thinking, what next?
Businesses today are getting so niche. Every small problem has a business worth crores behind it. But I have a simple way of evaluating what's the right product or service idea that you should offer in the market. The philosophy is simple. The money you make is determined by the scale of the problem that you solve. Think about it. If your product or service is not fulfilling significant desire for your customer, or is not solving a significant problem for your customer, or is not fulfilling a significant need of your customer, then obviously they're going to value your product or service as insignificant. You want to be able to identify what is that burning need, what is that burning desire, what is that burning problem for your customer in the context of their life, in the context of your industry, and pick the biggest problem to solve. Look, the game is very simple. The rules of the game don't change. The bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the money you make.
We really did not have the right culture. How do we handle people? How do we create leadership? How do we manage people? We did not have any knowledge in a systematic way to really handle this challenge. And today I would say we have a well-defined team who are process-oriented, are working towards the real growth of the organization by working in their own functions in the best possible way.
Talking about culture, in 2025, most organizations have a mix of employees from different age groups. Some Gen Zs, some millennials, some baby boomers sometimes. And maintaining a culture that suits everyone becomes very tricky. What most people try to do is that they fit the culture to the employees, which means if I have a young team member, I'll be more flexible. If I have someone who's older, I'll demand more loyalty. But it's actually the other way around. You have to be clear about what do you stand for as a business? What values do you hold? Because your business at the end of the day is the expression of your values. Then you got to make sure that when you are bringing in people into your organization or your team, you're training them and aligning them to your values. You don't want everybody to come in and do things based on their whims, fancies, and conveniences. No culture is a culture of chaos. You want to build a high performance culture, which is a culture of alignment. At the end of the day, the reality is this. You don't think about building a culture when you scale up. You build a culture so that you can scale up. Culture is the foundation on which you can build a scalable business. Dave was someone who wasn't born into business. And for someone who didn't come from a business background, he transformed himself into a capable business owner through learning, and today runs a business that grows almost 25 to 30% year on year. So if you're someone looking to learn the science behind a growing business too, then here's a 40-minute free video linked in the description where I'll teach you the fundamentals. So click on the link now to see how learning can bring so much more clarity in your business.